depend on natural camouflage for protection. Now, if you look over on the right, there's a couple of okapi just behind the tree there. White stripes on the legs make them look a lot like zebras, but they are related to giraffes. And if you look at that face and head, you might see the family resemblance. Now, if you're going to take pictures, you might want to set your cameras to sport or action mode if you're able to. Something with a fast shutter speed. Some of the animals are going to move around. We are definitely going to be moving. Just up on that ridge ahead of us, reddish brown, those are bongos up there. Now, they're known as the ghost of the forest, even with that bright coloring. Once they get into the bushes or tall grass, they blend in pretty well. Look to the left, right across the water. There's a black rhino there.
See him?
Black rhinos can weigh about 3,000 pounds fully grown.
Very,
very endangered animals. There's only about 5,000 of them left in the whole world. And looks like it's pretty decent up here. Now look at the upper lip. It's almost like a little tiny elephant trunk that is prehensile. And that lets them grab leaves off of branches and bushes. The horns on rhinos are not actual horns. They're not attached to their skulls. And they're made of keratin, like our hair and fingernails, instead of bone. More bongos up here. If you notice, the bongos' horns are kind of swept back. That lets them run through the woods really quickly without getting caught up on anything. The horns on the rhino back there, that's the reason that they're hunted. And we do support several groups that are working really hard to educate people about not using rhino horn products. Hopefully at some point in the near future, that poaching crisis will come to an end. Over on the left, beige color, a couple of greater kudu. A couple of females, and we know they are because they don't have any horns. Only the male kudus have them. They are the second tallest animal on the earth. We're entering the Safi River area. Rivers and watering holes are really important to the animals. And we're going to be looking for hippos. Now the hippopotamus is one of the largest and they are the most dangerous animals in Africa. And if you look straight ahead across the water, there's one on the bank. Full-grown males can get over 5,000 pounds. So kind of a cool thing. If you notice the color on the hippo, it looks like he has a sunburn. They actually secrete this oily substance that keeps them from getting a sunburn, but it has a red pigment to it, so it makes it look like they already have one. They used to call that blood sweat. People thought they were actually leaking blood out of their body, but it isn't. They don't look like it, but they are very, very aggressive, extremely territorial. Now, they can hold their breath underwater for about 5 to 8 minutes, and they do spend the majority of the time in the water, especially during the daytime. They're not great swimmers. They kind of run or walk down there, but it works. They move extremely well. And while they don't have a typical runner's body, they are quick on land. They can run up to about 20 miles an hour. That is a lot faster than most of us, even riding a bicycle. Pink-backed pelicans down here. They get their name from the color on their backs during the mating season.
You know pelicans?
Wingspan about as wide as the benches we're sitting on.
You see that bird that was sitting right here on the ledge?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to cross a bridge. We are going to go poli-poli. That's Swahili. I think it's very slow. And coming up on the left, those are Nile crocodiles.
Ooh.
Now they're found all over sub-Saharan Africa, and they can reach about 16 to 20 feet of length fully grown. In the wild, they live around 40 years. In captivity, about twice that long.
Look at this right there in Morocco.
Yeah, when they feed their mom like that, they're actually regulating their temperature. They're not just off We're going to change ecosystems. We're going to move into the Serengeti grassland. Just ahead on the right side of the path, there's a baobab tree, also known as an upside-down tree. And if you look at the branches, you'll see they look a lot like tree roots, giving it that name. We're about to enter the savanna, and this is home to some of the most famous animals, like the giraffes walking off over there. The animals here shape the landscape with their eating habits. Elephants push trees over for food. Giraffes eat the under canopy of the trees. Grazing animals eat the grass, and all of that combined gives a savanna that very clean, open look it normally has. All right, as we come around the turn, look at the under canopy of the trees out there. There's almost a straight line all the way across. That's as high up as the giraffes can reach with their mouth. Everything below that point gets eaten. Those trees are delicious to them. And you can see quite a few giraffes out there right now. They are the tallest animals. They top out at around 20 feet. Out here, these are all Maasai or Maasai giraffes. This irregular, kind of jagged pattern on the coat.
Right there. You see it? Yeah. That's the giraffe. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You see a mature female right over on the right.
They're just like
There's a baby giraffe all the way across.
Yeah, that's my.
Their baby one's just walking across the
There's two of
road.
them actually. And we're going to get a
There's
lot
a little
closer
one right there.
if they hang out there for a little bit.
See, there's two.
Now, a group of
There's
giraffes
one over
standing
there,
around like
and
that, that's
there's
called
two
the Tower of
over there.
Giraffes. If they were on the move, they would be
See
called
when
the
they get
Journey
to
of
the bus?
Giraffes.
They're facing that way. You see them? Look at, see them? They're facing
Billy,
that
they
way.
taking pictures, bud.
You should
Take
Yeah, a
a
couple of
picture.
baby giraffes directly
We're
to our right.
close to it.
Both of those are right around, probably about 10 months old.
10 months old, they're babies. Oh, what's that thing? Look at the horns.
And collie cattle right ahead.
Don't drop it.
That's a female right there. Look at the thickness of the horns. Now the horns are, they get over 4 feet long, close to actually over 6 feet in some cases.
Yeah.
Look ahead of that truck in front of us. There's a bull over there, all brown. Look at the span of the horns on that guy. Now, when the other truck goes by, look at his horns. Compare them to the people on the truck. That gives you an idea. His horns are about 5 feet long each.
Wow. Straight ahead. You see that one?
Now they're made of a honeycomb material inside. Blood flows in there. They're like radiators, and that regulates their body temperature.
It's a bull.
If you look to the left, there's a hyena laying right on top of the rocks over there.
Oh, there's a hyena on the rocks.
Hey guys, we do want to hold the volume down, and we don't want to call out at the animals. Please, parents, please help me out with that. There's a hyena laying on top of the rocks. They have the most powerful jaws, the most powerful
look at
bites
them.
of all the predatory land mammals. There's another one in the back. More than lions and bears.
Oh, look at these guys.
Yeah, really good look at the golden cattle here. The horns are made of a honeycomb material inside. Blood flows in there. They're like radiators, and that regulates their body temperature.
They took that hole I stopped when I
Also
on
known
the
as
motorcycle.
Watusi cattle, named after the tribe that domesticated them.
Oh, look at here it comes.
Termite mounds all around. They bake in the hot sun all day, get hard as concrete. When they wear down, like the one over on the right side there, animals like the hyenas or antelope will climb up, and it gives them a pretty good view of the savanna.
There?
Giraffes have one of the largest hearts of any land animal, one of the highest regular blood pressures. And you can imagine it's going to take a
Look at
lot
that
of
one.
pressure to get the blood flowing all the way up that long neck.
Really, I just turned mine on.
There's another mature but younger female there right by the tree. She's
Wow.
she's probably around 3 or 4 years old. Not 4.
There are these. Funny. The termite moth.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
There's a baby giraffe over there by the palm trees. Now giraffes, obviously very visible. You can see them from so far away. They're so tall. In part because of that, people didn't realize when their numbers started dropping. Now, a few years back, these researchers are doing a study, and as a side project, they counted the giraffes in an area. They were kind of shocked at how few of them there were. That turned into a much broader study all across Africa. They went out there, counted all the giraffes up, and what they found was they only about 10% of what they thought existed was still out there. The numbers had dropped so much since that study. That was about 5-6 years ago. The numbers have dropped another 30-35%. There's actually about 4 times more elephants than there are giraffes right now. So giraffe conservation is kind of a new thing, but it is important. Some other young giraffes coming up on the right.
Yeah, it smells like farm.
They are pretty amazing animals. Mature giraffes, like the ones directly to our right, in the wild, as long as they're standing like that with their heads up, they actually don't have any predators.
Billy.
They can kick in every direction. Predators know that, so they stay away. A couple of young ones coming up, and some wildebeest, of course, just next to us and in front of us. Wildebeest got their name from the Afrikaans for wild beast, easy enough.
Those are wildebeest. Look right there. These are baby giraffes. Look.
Well, what are those goats?
That's called a wildebeest.
Wildebeest can run well over 40 miles an hour, and they make up the largest, most densely packed herds of all mammals, except for one, and that would be us. Think about a major sporting event. We're at Disney World. Now, the little tiny guys laying down over there with the dark stripe and the white belly, those are called springbok. They are the smallest antelope on the reserve, about 3 feet tall. They jump really far. It's called pronking. Very cool to watch. Looks like they have springs built into their feet when they do that. They're also one of the fastest land animals. They run up to about 60 miles an hour. Highway speeds on those little tiny lights. In Savannah, it's kind of like a super highway for animals. Millions of them migrate back and forth every year.
I see a rabbit.
It's an important ecosystem. Let's see, if you look straight through those trees over there, kind of a little to the right, there's a young male elephant all the way back there by that clay wall. Elephants are the largest land animals. Full-grown males average around 12,000 pounds and eat about 300 pounds of food a day. That guy has a long way to go before he gets there, but he is trying. I've seen him eat. The elephant herds are made up of females and they're young. When the males reach maturity, like that guy, they have to leave the herd. Now, sometimes they'll join these small bachelor groups when they're younger. As they get older, they get more and more solitary, and eventually they do end up living on their own. Now, mature males are not welcome in herds. They get really very aggressive, unpredictable. It's just not really safe for them to be around.
Yeah, you saw it?
We're going to go very slow or fully once.
The last time I went to the zoo, I did not see elephants.
As you can see, the bridge doesn't look great. It really doesn't feel that good either, but it does hold up just fine most of the time. On the right side, there are tusk marks. Elephants will eat regularly. That provides them with minerals missing in their diet. It's like a supplement for them. And there's some elephants just ahead. Now, researchers here at Harambe Wildlife Reserve found that elephants are really afraid of bees, so they developed beehive fences for use around farms. The elephants bump the fence, the bees come out buzzing. The sound scares the elephants away, and we avoid a conflict between them and the farmers, and that's always a good thing. You'll see most elephants will have dirt on them. I can see some way off in the distance. They spray that on. That's like a natural sunscreen. And you're going to see them flap their ears. They have a lot of blood vessels in their ears. When they flap them, that air is circulating, pulls that blood down, and that goes on the body. And there's an elephant right on our left. You can see all that natural sunscreen on there. Elephants will live about 60 to 65 years on average. Their childhood is about the same as ours, around 15 years, where ours is around 17 or 20, 25 years. It depends. And that's a mature female on the left. Easiest way to tell, especially when there's only one elephant hanging around, is going to be by the size of the tusks. Those are fairly mature tusks.
Bunch of
And
elephants, baby.
there's a baby elephant right in front of us. That's actually, I think that's her mom back there. Now she's about 3 years old. You see her tusks are just starting to come out. She is a cutie. I still remember when she was a little teeny tiny 300-pound newborn. Adorable. Look at that. She is cute. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's mom over there. Which is odd because that means she got really far away from mom. She normally
It's a
doesn't do
baby
that.
elephant.
All right, as we come around the turn, there are greater flamingos. They are the lightest in
look
color
at
of the
these.
flamingos. They get their color from the brine shrimp that they eat, which is really high in carotene. There's a couple more elephants coming over on the left, just behind the trees. The group of flamingos is called the flamboyants. One of the questions that we get about the flamingos, why do they stand on one leg? Oh, really cool. Look to the right. That is a Patterson's eland up there. That's the largest of the antelope. Now, it's kind of hard to tell. That guy's about 6 feet tall at the shoulder, and he weighs about a ton. And at that size, he can hop about 8 feet up in the air. Very, very powerful animal.
Oh,
One
look,
of my
that's
favorite
Mickey ears.
animals out there.
See them? There's 2 big circles in the middle of the trees.
If you look back to the left through the bushes, you can see those elephants walking by.
Oh, there are trails through here. Sneaking arrow with arrows.
Yeah, run into an elephant. You don't want that. These are the hippos and most aggressive.
All right, really cool. Look straight ahead through the windshield. Look past the little skinny trees. There's a cheetah laying on the grass right there. Now, cheetahs are the fastest land mammals. They run well over 60 miles per hour.
Oh, he's laying in
The teardrop-looking marks under their eyes help them with the glare from the sun, and they're one of the few big
Right there.
cats.
Look at that as phone.
Look at the phone.
It's really helpful.
You see the cheetah?
See him?
Beautiful animal.
You see him?
And those
Yeah.
spots are actually really good camouflage. If they lay down where there's any kind of leaf clutter on the ground, they blend right in. Very long, thick tail. That's like a rudder. It stabilizes them when they're running really fast. Helps them make better turns. Look to the left. There's another cheetah right there. Just past more in the back. Yeah, there's quite a few of them back there.
Yeah,
Actually.
all the way.
Very cool. A group like that is called a coalition of cheetahs.
Can't see it because Dad's phone. She couldn't see it.
Just ahead,
Right in front of her.
the rock formation is called a kopi. Animals climb up there. Here's a great view. All right, really cool. Look at the second tallest formation on the right side. There's a female lion right there.
Look all the way at the top. There's a lion sleeping.
Very
On
cool.
the top of the rock. You see it?
Look right in
Yeah.
front of us.
Up there, baby. All the way on the top of the rock. Oh, what's up? Sleeping?
So there's quite a few rhinos in front of us. Hey guys, we're gonna make a point not to make any loud sounds, no yelling out, because rhinos can react to that, and that's a bad thing. We don't want that. Those are white rhinos. They average about 5,500 pounds. They run at about 35 miles an hour. Right now they can hear us really well. They smell us even better. They can't see us. They have terrible, terrible eyesight. A group like that is called a crash of rhinos, and there is a reason for that. Watch the ears, and ears are going to pivot around. That's how they keep track of what's going on around them. It is incredible how fast they can move. They are very, very light on their feet. All right, look to the edge of the rocks over on the left. There's a male lion here. Now, lions are one of the few big cats that hunt as a group or a pride, and it is the females who do the majority of that. It takes a lot of energy and no rest or sleep, about 20 hours a day. They're nocturnal, so at this time of day, that's kind of what they do. We're going to stop here because that makes for a pretty cool picture. Yeah, there's another female way up top.
See them? Two of them.
That's cool. Now, if you're going to post that on social media, hashtag best safari driver ever. It's an option. I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm not going to remind you that my name is Louis because that's going too far. I won't do that. There's an ostrich walking by just across. A couple of them. Look back to the left. There's a warthog going by back there. The largest burrowing mammals in Africa. They use their tusks for digging and for defending themselves. Closely related to domestic pigs. Very, very aggressive. All right, so let's see. We might get another look at those rhinos.
Ostrich, look.
Here's that ostrich coming over. Hey guys, when the ostrich comes over, remember, keep those hands inside. They are curious. They are tall enough.
French bird.
Look at the ostrich. He's looking at you.
They are the largest birds.
Oh,
They are flightless. Thank goodness for that. We're going to keep an eye on it because
It's going to go right in front.
Okay. Well, maybe. All right, we're going to kind of maybe sneak by here.
Oh, this would be a good video.
Okay. Contrary to what the cartoons taught us, they do not stick their heads in the ground. Over on the right side, little guy with the white face and the horns is called a bantabak. A bantabak are actually hunted to extinction in the wild. At one point, there's only about 17 of them out there.
See him?
A farmer had some on his land, and they were able to use them and start a breeding program. After many years, they're about to start releasing bantabak back into the wild, so that's really cool. white rhinos back there, they get their name from the Afrikaans word bite. It doesn't refer to their color. It actually refers to how wide or bite their mouth is. The mouth is perfect for grazing. They are herbivores. All right, just ahead, white and tan up there, that is called a scimitar horned oryx. They get the name because of those horns. Here's a really cool thing with these guys. They can go up to 9 months without drinking any water at all. They get their water from the vegetation, baby. Here's a not so cool thing about these guys. My very first safari, as soon as I said that, one of them walked over here on the right and drank water. That's their way of letting me know they can go 9 months. They just don't have to because the water's right there. It makes sense. I understand. It wasn't personal, even though he looked at me the entire time. They're native to the arid plains and deserts of northern Africa, so great adaptation for them. I'm not going to look as he's still looking at me. Okay, with that, we're at the outskirts of Harambe village, and that does mean our safari is ending. If you want to see more animals, you can walk down the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. It's Gorilla Falls Trail, so of course they have gorillas, the western lowland gorillas. Some of the animals we saw on the safari.
Yeah.
The okapi we saw towards the beginning. There's a viewing area. You can see the hippos under the water. Kind of cool to see how graceful they are down there. There's a walking aviary, my favorite area down there. If you're interested in helping protect wild animals,
here we
you can
go.
reach out to any of the conservation associations out there, including our own. And you can make donations for really anything you can do to raise awareness. It's going to be helpful. That could be as simple as sharing photographs or photos of babies. Just having a conversation, talking about some of the issues facing the animals, all of that really does help.